What's up, fellow lords of gaming, and welcome back to another episode of Marvel Future Fight. So today, let's jump right on in because I want to give you this August update. The mid-month is here, and we got the sneak peek for Black Panther, the eternal guardian of Wakanda. This is CM fragment of Marvel Future Fight. The superhero who was once a king protects the shadowy streets of cities around the world, even when he has become an outcast of the nation he once ruled. Check out the new looks and abilities of the tireless king and superhero. Let's go check this out. Notice the T and the 4 sitting right there. So Black Panther will be receiving his tier 4. This scene reminds me of like the Dark Knight. And there we go with our new look for Black Panther, T4 incoming. So for those of you not familiar, one thing I want to point out to you is you notice that it says update. It doesn't say update details will be announced in a later update, which means that more than likely tonight we will be getting another additional character that's going to be introduced, or somebody's going to get another upgrade. So hopefully it's going to be like Shuri. She should have been received. Like I would love, even though it would be like 3 T4s in 1 month, I would love to see Shuri get an update and get her Black Panther costume. We could see M'Baku get a transcendence, like that would be cool, because you could do a M'Baku transcendence. He's already a good character. It'd be nice to see him get his transcendence. He didn't even need a uniform necessarily to do it, but basically we get that, right? So over on the Twitter sphere, they don't really have much of an announcement for the uniform. It's just outcast from the nation he once ruled. T'Challa is a king without a crown. He is set to return order to Wakanda and Marvel Future Fight. And you can see the list of people down here, Wakanda Forever. Now, I do want to point out to the viewers who haven't known, I love watching like Comics Explain. I can't remember the guy's name who does Comics Explain, but he does a really good job of explaining how everything usually comes full circle. So there's no reason to get pissed about any one distinction or something like that that's going on. So this is not the first time that we have had Black Panther not in the role as the leader of Wakanda. Previously, before this, we had Black Panther, the man without fear. So I want to show you that one real quick. This was a previous run. I think this was done. I don't even know the year that this was done. It was that long ago, but this was a while ago. You had the Man Without Fear comics, and basically Black Panther leaves Wakanda, and then comes and takes over for Daredevil in Overwatching Hell's Kitchen. He ends up getting married to fucking hell, my name's all over the place. He gets married to Storm, and there becomes a whole thing there. He ends up leaving after the aftermath of like a battle with Doctor Doom, and then he basically pissed off, he's given Wakanda time to rebuild without him. He comes in, he becomes the Man Without Fear, and it's a very interesting storyline that they basically drive him and bring Black Panther into like the street level, all right? And it's kind of cool. I did genuinely like the design that they had for him previously. Sans the claws that were sticking out and everything. So you can see like it was a decent run that they had for him inside of here. It wasn't like one of those runs that was terribly bad or anything like that. I remember the thing I couldn't get along with was the animation inside there. It just wasn't my thing. So this uniform that we basically getting for Black Panther is going to be another additional run for Black Panther, where he's basically no longer going to be king again. He is, giving up on his throne, and he's never going to be king again, which is bullshit. We know that he'll probably be king again at some point. I do want to show you, look at the Black Panther art for the comic book and what he has inside here. So I did go take a look. This is the redesign that we just see inside here. Now, I got to sit here and pretend that I am like overjoyed with this design of Black Panther. It's like very basic. It's very going back to Image in the 90s, and when Cable and Deadpool were there, and we just had pouches and pockets all over uniforms for whatever reason. It's a very simplistic design with a shoulder guard type shield on his arms and a draping cape. And for some reason, he's carrying around a spear and short kunai. Now, like with all the tech that we've seen them do and create inside of like, you know, the Black Panther movies, it seems like a real leap to go back to this style of, you know, Black Panther. But, you know, I guess he is patrolling streets and stuff like that. So it makes sense in the long run. This is the new artist. Chris Allen is the new artist on the series. And this is his rendition of the outfit and the look. Yeah, you know, you like it, you love it. Now, here goes the thing that I want to bring up inside of here, outside of just talking about the comic, right? Is essentially Black Panther, you know, like, listen, I'm not going to sit here and pretend. If you know, then you know. This game has had a history of not only shitting on Black Panther, but shitting on characters of color writ large. Like, that's just the truth of the matter. I mean, it's like if you're not a female and then you're an alien, and then you're a white male superhero character, it has just a writ large. And with some kind of, like, I don't know why, but with some kind of vigor, they seem to exceptionally be mad at Black Panther for some reason. Like, this was a cool design for Black Panther 3099, and it was a terrible fucking uniform. Like, it was absolutely terrible. I purchased it. I got it to Mythic, right? Even his Marvel Studios, the Black Panther costume that he got inside here, it was trash. I mean, you can go all the way back. See, here you go, the Man Without Fear uniform that he had. You can go all the way back, like, to any of the uniforms he had. I don't even know why I didn't purchase this uniform. I can't remember why I didn't purchase this one. Oh, I remember why I didn't purchase it. Never mind. It was just trash. So, like, he has had so many trash uniforms in these uniforms over the years that it befuddles me that they won't give the dude who can beat the Fantastic Four single-handedly his comeuppance. It's not like they've really done a great job with combat class characters over the years, with the exception of probably this recent run that we've had with combat class characters. But my fear about this is that we're gonna get another uniform, and it's not gonna make a difference. He's gonna end up a T4, and he's probably gonna end up a T4 like Storm, and it'll be like an off-used uniform that's just like worthless. It's weird. It's not that I want the characters to come into the game, and because I really like Black Panther, that I want him to be groundbreaking. You know what I mean? What I want is just a character that's serviceable. I don't even need the character to be meta. I still play with this character and utilize them in Shadowland. I use him in some normal story mode clears and things like that for play, because I'll just use him on like some ABL days and stuff like that, just because I love the character and I want to play with him. But it is weird to think that we could possibly get this character and we could end up snuffed again on the uniform. So I hate to say it in this way, but I don't want you to delay purchasing the uniform. But at the same token, I've got to be honest with the viewers. There's been a history of this character getting shafted. So I would wait for people to basically see what this uniform is going to look like and be able to do. Now, the question that I have is whether or not tonight we'll get an additional update for any of the characters that could be tied here. This would be an awesome time for maybe them to introduce a new character in Nkoye, Nakia or Nkoye, but I think we're going to probably wait for before we get any of the Dora Milaje type characters inside here. It's probably going to be a ways off until we eventually see like the movies and the Disney series that was supposed to come for this. But we could end up seeing maybe potential transcendence for M'Baku. It wouldn't be bad to see a Shuri uniform. I mean, she, like, to the point of what I'm saying by the characters getting shafted, we totally missed out on a Shuri uniform where she was legitimately the Black Panther. I mean, we got this uniform for Shuri and we got no Black Panther uniform. Like, how? Granted, I understood that Namor was the T4 of the movie, and I was happy to see Namor be a T4 character inside of there. But the fact that we got a Shuri, and it's been a year since we've seen her get a Black Panther uniform. It makes no sense to me. Just absolutely no sense. So I like, while it's not something I would enjoy, I would, you know, in terms of like the investment cost, I would love to see Shuri get her T4 and her Black Panther uniform, and then her big brother get his T4 and this new uniform, and it actually be good. Like, I mean, I don't need him to be a PvP character. I prefer that he's not a PvP character. I prefer that he's a PvE character. I'm never really concerned about why people are asking for PvP characters inside of this game, and they're so insistent upon it. PvP in this game is trash. It is not a PvP game. At some point, you just have to recognize it is a PvE game. So playing Black Panther inside PvP, where I know that he is not going to be in the tier of Thanos, Adam Warlock, Jean Grey, he's not going to be there. And I basically get to use him in basically a mode that basically goes on auto. Makes no sense to me. I want to be able to use this character inside World Boss Legend. I want to be able to use this character inside Shadowland. I want to be able to use this character inside the modes that most affect me on a day-to-day basis. And most certainly it's not PvP. Like, I literally turn on PvP, set a team, and then I roll. That's it. That's as much as you get from it. So I don't want to build Black Panther to be a PvP character. I would like to build him for PvE, but we'll see what happens. It'd be nice if M'Baku also got his due. Maybe we could see a return to Omega Red, and they could come back to Omega Red and give him his transcendence. But I feel like that's like it's a bridge too soon that they're going to do that, because essentially you basically get Omega Red right now, and it almost falls into that wheel of, if they had it, they would have done it already. So I just don't feel like it's going to happen right now. But, you know, the sky's the limit. So I hope to see you guys later tonight. I'm going to drop that video as soon as I can. I am excited regardless. Any improvement to this character will be an improvement. But I would like to see him sit up in the top, so that way he could sit in as one of my top tier teams in the game. To play with on my rotation for World Boss Legend. As long as he's serviceable for me in World Boss Legend, he will be a team. I will make this team so that way it is there. Like, I like thematic teams, so I would love to be able to put him and Shuri together and be able to run a World Boss Legend with those characters in there. M'Baku doesn't really do much for me in terms of like his passives or anything like that. I forgot that M'Baku does have the basic damage to supervillains. I totally forgot about that. Oh, but I can't use it because, yeah, the dude is literally sitting in here as a tier 2. So without that, I can't use him. So it'd be nice. It'd be nice to basically see him. Now, I think Black Panther he's gonna require a lot to become a good character. I mean, his leadership was pretty shit. That needs to be readdressed completely. Like from the bottom up. Like, his leadership it's terrible. We can look at like his passive that he has over here. It's not bad. We've seen similar passives on Royal Immunity. But obviously that damage received needs to be boosted inside here overall. Like, even if we would go inside and look at some of T'Challa's skills inside of here, I never really quite felt like there was like skills in here that represented the character outside of, you know, in the way that we saw him in the movie, like with the mega explosion and things like that was basically coming. They just weren't there. So he has some pretty cool looking skills, and he's got enough damage on the skills for like hits that are happening. But it's just like, outside of that, what are you doing, guys? Like, Jesus, I really want to see this character done some justice. It'd be really nice to see it. Like, we've seen this on Wolverine, so it's not bad skill presentation overall. But like, for instance, where's the effect for him bursting, for instance, with you know, the suits that Shuri has made for him? I doubt that's gonna be here, since we're getting this like throwback type suit, which doesn't make sense that, you know, he's leaving and he's not gonna have, you know, a suit that Shuri made or something like that. Bleed is inside the game here, but you can see like on his skills, like, he's got an accumulation on his 3rd skill, and it had decent amounts with barrier and accumulation on there. But then you go and you look at like, it's the frenzy buff. That's it. It's another frenzy buff. And then we go into his like, you know, his tier 3 ultimate skill of the dead and King of the Dead, and we don't see any type of things with the King of the Dead like done right there. So 15% ignore defense, like he could be good. Like it'd be nice to see if the character was maybe like, you know, I forgot what happened to the characters that could go between, you know, so that way you could basically be like, hey, I've got a character that's sitting over here and it's PvP and PvE. So let's see what they do with him. Hopefully I'm praying, man. I am hoping to God that he does not get shit on, but I wouldn't be surprised. Like, you know, there's just a history there, and I think any old Marvel player, Marvel Future Fight player is going to look at this and be like, man, are we going to get the same shit? We're going to get a T4 Black Panther that is going to sit at the bottom, and he's just going to probably be there in the bottom, and it's just, I don't want to see it. I'd almost rather him not get his update. Now, the characters that he has to compete with, you know, he is going to be competing with some heavy hitters. I mean, just the T4 and Wolverine, especially with the new CTP of Conquest. I'm happy that I received that, because one of the things that Black Panther needs, without a doubt, is a means to heal. And so the CTP of Conquest, if they don't, that could be a way to put it on, to put you know, Black Panther get his recovery rate, his guard break immunity. Because that was one of the problems, if I remember correctly, with the character, was that he was just constantly guard broken. But to give him a healing factor that was better than what it is, or why he doesn't have a healing factor, I don't know. But he's also got to compete with, you know, well, I guess he doesn't necessarily have to compete with Hulk and Carnage, because those aren't villains, but these are two characters that are like staples inside PvP. Wolverine is a PvP staple as well. And then you've got Venom, who's he's a support character still. I mean, you can use him in PvE. And then he's got Namor, who's also a PvE character. So he's not really competing against a whole lot. I haven't T4'd Captain America. I really don't like this uniform. That's why I haven't T4'd him. But Captain America is sitting over there, and he's quite a good T4. You could just level him up to 80 and put him at tier 3 level 80. I just didn't want to spend the resources to do so. Captain America has never been like one of my deep bedded favorites. But so those are the characters essentially that he's competing with. So my hope is at the very least, he should be on the level of Captain America. He should at least be on the level of Captain America, if not on the level of Namor and Wolverine. Do I suspect him to be on the level of Carnage and Hulk? Not really. I'm going to be honest with you. Not really. There's not so we also have Moon Knight. I forgot about Moon Knight because he does have his T4. I just haven't T4'd him because he's serviceable where he's at Transcendent 80. So we'll have to see what they're going to do. We've got some T4s, combat T4s that are potentially coming down the road. I mean, you still got Mr. Fantastic, who hasn't received his T4. That's a potential. So I guess maybe there's not that many. Maybe there's not that many. My God, it just brings me up that Killmonger's still back there at that. So you don't have that many combat characters that would compete with him if they did him justice and he slotted himself into the meta really well, because you would essentially still have a ton of combat. You wouldn't have a ton of combat characters coming behind him that could usurp him rather quickly. Maybe, but she's a female, so not really. Because I think they said there's going to be a season 2 of She-Hulk, so maybe. But let's hope, man. I'm trying to temper my excitement because I'm like, yo, let's go. I'm like happy Black Panther's getting the update. I'm just so fucking nervous that they're gonna fuck it over. Well, let's see, guys. We got a week to wait then. At this point, until next time, peace.